Okay, so my question is completely irrelevant to what we were talking about now. And it's a concern as a mother. When we talk about the events of about Imam Hussein in general, but about like the peak of the event, like Ashura and Muharram, and the events that are talked about mostly in the majalis, you know, how Imam Hussein was martyred to the smallest details. When you want to relate those stories to the children, how deep do you think one should go to tell the story? There was a lot of violence, you know. Do you think that children should be familiar with that, or it's okay, this is Imam Hussein, or do you think that no, you can just say like the general story and stop there?
Oh my God, this is very shaking question. Psychologically, it is wrong. It is false. Why? Because when you go to details about the hardships, about the calamities, about the martyrdom of Ali Asghar or Ali Akbar or Qasim or things like that, you have to be very careful with regard to the cognitive capacity. And according to what psychologists believe, whenever you talk to children, in according to Islamic teaching, you need to categorize your addressee in 3 groups: age 1 to 7, 7 to 14, and 14 to 21. In according to their cognitive, emotional, and behavioral capacity and potentiality, you have to provide different explanation, different elaboration. The elaboration you provide for the, age 12 is completely different than the elaboration that you provided for, a child at the age of 4 or 5. You have to be careful about the level of cognition, emotion, affection, and behavior.
I agree. So it depends on which age. If the person is 4 years old, you have a certain approach.
Adolescent.
If the person is 10 years old.
Adolescent is very shaking.
If the person is 12 or 14, you can explain a little bit more and more, elaborate a little bit more. So it depends on which age, which range of age you're talking about.
And even, sorry, just to complete, even Jean Piaget believed that whenever you talk to children, not in terms of, Ashura, Imam Hussein, daily life, you have to be very careful to consider the level of their understanding and conception. Sometimes you go by concrete approach, and sometimes you go by you go by type of symbolic understanding with regard to the different topics.
But based on your explanation, when we go to these majalis, there are very, very detailed descriptions of what happened. So should a person with a small child not attend, based on your explanation?
My reply is not yes or no. You have to establish different sessions: child sessions, adolescent session, for the youth, and for the adults. We take all and put all in one single session. It's wrong. It has negative consequences. Really, this is not loving Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. We create negative consequences that we cannot come up with the result.
Mr. Shamli, first of all, thank you very much for all your very thoughtful replies and so informative. Thank you so much. But when I was listening to this conversation going on between you, it just reminded me of how much we are pampering ourselves, even the adults. We are living our comfortable lives. We go to work. We have our luxuries, we rest on time, we eat on time. Everything is going according to our own routine. But even in our own world, in our own contemporary time, there is the issue of Gaza going on, and the massacre that is going on, being committed by Israel. And a lot of people, like on Instagram or on YouTube, they're witnessing the very brutal scenes of violence being committed against the people of, especially the children of Gaza. Why do we think that our children and we are superior and we are higher than them? That like we should be scanning or like screening, monitoring some scenes. Why are we considering ourselves more precious than even the children of Abdullah? They went through it. The people of Gaza are going through it. Why are we so different? I think this mentality is the cause of a lot of Muslims remaining silent in the world these days, because they say, oh, my life and my children and my lifestyle is like superior. It shouldn't be, my peace of mind shouldn't be shattered because I'm special. No, we're all the same. I mean, why should we consider ourselves to be like so much more different from the events and the realities that is going on in the world? Maybe we should toughen ourselves a little bit and we should teach our kids that this is the reality of the world.
No, I go by the other side. In according to the psychological findings, humanity could go through two different avenues. Avenue number one is your daily life. Our daily lives is normal, joyful, and nothing to be shaking, nothing. But humanity is not living always in a soft, tender life. Sometimes we face crisis. So, Mrs. Razia, whenever you want to talk about elaborating and recording the stories of calamities came to Imam Hussein and his household, psychologically, according to the developmental psychology, you have to be careful about the level and the base of cognitive, emotional, and behavioral. This is the law. Your child is going to be developed, is going to be educated, is going to be trained in according to schools or home education. Here you have to be careful to follow the rules, the standards, but at the same time, we are Muslim and we need to feel responsibility. We need to feel responsibility. And on the occasion of crisis, you have to talk. Sometimes for watching a film, they say not under 18. This is for normal life. But the calamities, the tragedy, the massacre which is happening in Gaza and Palestine, is it okay for us just to turn off the TV and not let the children to watch it? They have to watch it. They have to be aware. It's responsibility.
Can I add something, Sheikh? First of all, the Ahlul Bayt, they were forced in Ashura. They were forced to see all of those scenes. That's number one. Number two, the mentality is different. The mentality of different ages, different periods of eras were all different. The way a child was raised at the time of the Prophet was different 100 years afterwards. It's different now. Yes, we are living in a higher welfare. We are having a much different lifestyle. We have the aspect of child psychology. We are much softer than our forefathers.
That's good.
That is one thing. So we have to look at the age and the society and what order and the social norms and all of those aspects. But it does not mean that sometimes you have to show that brutality. You have to show a child which is 7 plus, I would say, that look, these brutalities exist. Sometimes you have to show some scenes, but it does not mean that it's black and white. You show a little bit, you don't show some other scenes. You talk about it instead of showing pictures.